around here. Come on, where's that name come from, leaking? Okay, nothing that's leaking sounds good, not in any way. So when we think about leaky gut, I think what they're talking about is about a membrane. Right here. We're going to talk about it so it's not personal to you. The more tight the weave, the better it sifts through and brings through the fine particles for absorption and leaves out the heavier objects and particles, right? Toxins and everything. So we get a good weave with a fine weave. Well, that's the whole subject here. When we have leaking gut, that means our weave is either torn, or it's weakened, thinned, or it's too loose, and it's not doing its job. So we need a tight weave on our gut. But what happens when it gets loose? It gets loose, and bigger particles from our food and toxins start going through that lining. Oh, here it is again, here it is. It got tears in it. It starts leaking through this lining. And the lining, these particles then go into our bloodstream and our lymph system. Major systemic infection begins to happen, boosting off an autoimmune response and inflammation in the body because the food and toxins are in the wrong place of the body, wherever they travel to in the lymph and the bloodstream. So we want to keep a tight weave. How do we do that? Chewing. Back to chewing. Chew your food to initiate your digestive processes, which includes the peristalsis action, because the more that peristalsis muscle is moving and twisting, did you see that? The more the peristalsis muscle is moving and twisting, it actually does a squeezing and a twisting simultaneously. The more it keeps that food matter moving down through the intestines to elimination. When you didn't chew enough, that's just sitting there against the lining of your intestines. For example, a smoothie, if you just gulp it down and you don't swish it back and forth and initiate that process, or you don't chew enough, it sits against that lining and it starts to make it weaker. It breaks holes in it, it thins it out, it erodes against it, it ferments. Don't do it. Just don't do it, okay? Chew your food. It's really that simple. Avoid leaky gut. Nothing that says it's leaking is good. So we're going to go with that. Stop the leaks.